let's hope second time lucky and that we're in sync with the mouth and the sound. You'll have to let me know, of course. I'll let my guys tell me. Save an awful lot of comments going up the feed. I hope you're all well. I hope you've had a good day, and I know some of you have had some extreme temperatures, and it's just awful, isn't it, really? It's just quite crazy, quite crazy. I shall speak clearly into the camera and hopefully you can pick it up. Yes, it's just crazy everywhere, isn't it? And those poor people in Hawaii, and obviously, oh, perfectly in sync, thank you. And of course, all over Europe. It's just, I don't know what to make of it, do you? We're not going to talk politics, of course. It's just talking about the weather while everybody joins in and we all start at the same time. Ooh. I've got a lot to do tonight, as you know. We're going to do part one of Aubretia. As I said before, I don't know how long it's going to take us. I really don't know. So we'll do as much as we can do tonight within the hour, and I'm not going to delay this very much. I'm going to welcome the new people and then get straight in. And then we'll sort of do more next Thursday. So we're going to see how we get on. It's possible if I can get to, I don't know how, I think I'll be getting to the third colour tonight. But all of these things take, which just reminds me, I haven't got my ruler handy, bear with. All these things take a little bit of time to, I don't know what I'm talking about now. Lost a button. Oh, I've lost a button. No, I haven't. Just doing the button now. Hold on. You don't need to see my my wrinkles and my gloobies. I'm going to stop talking now. It's quite obvious I've lost the will to speak. Yes, so we're going to be doing Aubretia. I don't know how long it's going to take, but we will certainly do it all this evening. And I'll be chatting along with you, and then we'll do more next Thursday, and we'll get to a point where I'll have shown you as much as I need to show you, and then a bit like Julia and Barney, as long as you're okay about it, you can go off on your own and finish it off at your own leisure. But we'll see how we get on. I have no idea. When I do a video, it's usually 3, sometimes 4, but usually about 3 hours of filming, and then obviously John cuts it right down to the quick. And obviously we can't do that on a live because there's other things we need to do and talk about and stuff. Yes, so yeah, we didn't sign in for a flesh. I know, I do apologise. They're tiny little buttons though, but you know the best thing about blouses, you should really stitch them up, shouldn't you? And as long as you can get them over your head, which I must admit I would struggle, but that's the theory, that you should stitch them up. Right, so hopefully you're all okay. Just in from an ice cream from Janetta's in St Andrews. Oh, well, I'm sure that's wonderful. Is that wonder if that is Jackie? I don't know. Thank you, Nicholas, telling me I'm in sync. That's very kind of you. Right, I'm going to go on to my onto the group, and I am going to get the comments up so I can see what we're up to. I'll just turn this down. There, that's better. There we go. Here you go. That's lovely. Right. So, oh, it's Sally. Sally says she's just in from St Andrews. How lovely. Ice cream. How super. All right. I shall just keep you on there. I mean, I've got you over there, but you know I'm waiting for the new glasses, don't you? So, so Helena, yes, no, they said that the smoke from the fires in Canada had gone right down to New York, I think they said. Is that your side of Canada, New York? I can't remember if it is or it isn't, but yeah, anyway, they said the smoke was down as far as New York. Dreadful, dreadful, dreadful. Everywhere, it's just awful, isn't it? And we've had silly weather, so anyway. Right, let's not talk about the weather anymore. Right, so, Aubretia, we're going to start with that. I'm just going to welcome the new guys, so if you just bear with me a second. Hold on, I'm going to have to put my other glasses on. Otherwise, oh, I won't be able to see it. I can't see the computer from here. Ah, all becomes clear. So again, if you saw Nicola's post this morning, she does one every week, bless her heart, thank you very much, Nicola. And it's to welcome all the new members and to remind everybody really, and the new members, where to look for staff, and you know, all things like that. So it's questions, how do I, there's a frequently asked questions post in the featured area as well as in the guides, and there's also stuff on the website as well. There's always stuff on the website. You'd be surprised how much we keep on the website actually, and our lovely Jackie Grant is keeping that up to date for me now, so that it should start to get that little bit easier and tidier for you, especially videos. If you use the search facility now on the front page of the website, not only does it bring up the pattern, but it brings up the video as well. So I'm very, very happy about that, because it never did do that. There's a reason for it, which I don't need to go into, it's technical. Anyway, new members, we have Sheila Elliott, Claire Ty. I don't know why Claire Ty is in dark grey on my screen. Susan Gillen. Now, Susan Gillian, I can't see from here, I do apologise. That's my lovely friend Trisha's friend, but Susan is the mother-in-law and Trisha is the mother. Do you see what I mean? But they are good friends. They're lovely. I met Susan last Friday. I might have met, I know I met her before. So that was lovely to see her last week. And I saw Rosina as well, which is super. And we got welcome to Karen Davis and Joanna Bays. Now Joanna is actually Jo from Crafty UK, and she's here as an honorary member for a while, for however long she wants to stay. And it's just so Jo can see the things that you've been making with the templates that Crafty UK have actually supplied. So that's lovely, and we welcome Jo as part of our family. Bernie is returning. Actually, that was we had something weird with our website with Bernie, and Linda. And Linda is our brand new member. She joined, I think, yesterday. Linda, didn't you? And Linda is a platinum member. So welcome to Linda. I hope you're watching. Yeah, so many new members, Pat. Sometimes we have them in. You know, like little batches. And I don't know why, because we haven't done huge amounts of marketing on it. We've still got the 14-day free trial going. That finishes Friday, Saturday, Monday. So if you've got a friend, find a friend who wants to join, that 14-day free trial is still going. And if they join on Monday, it is for 14 days. So that's quite nice. So yeah, so welcome to all of you guys. It's lovely to have you in the group. Oh, just a little note about Crafty UK, and I know the potato chip template has been arriving. I would be ever so grateful if you didn't put a picture on any of the groups anywhere. The only reason I say that is it's lovely that you've got it, and please post to say you've got it, and thank you to Jo and the team at Crafty UK for sending them out so quickly. It's marvellous. But the only thing I'm going to say is this. I would rather the business got the benefit of people wanting the template, rather than, as we had an experience of that yesterday, that somebody decided that they wouldn't buy because they already had something that would do, which I totally understand. However, we don't advertise that. That is absolutely not what we're about. We are about supporting people, and that's why Jo's in the group, because we are supporting her and Andy. And I would much rather not have a photo of the template in the group, because it gives dimensions, it gives all the intricacies of the template as well, that Andy and Jo have spent many hours putting together. So that's all I want to say about that. It's just kind that we don't share the picture of the template. You can show the packaging, although I think the template is actually shown on the packaging as well. Just be sensible with it, or just do a lovely big post that says thank you Crafty UK for my template. We understand what it is that you've got, we don't need a picture. That's all I want to say about that. Otherwise it sounds like I'm being grotty, which I'm not, because it's just wonderful that, you know, that we've got this facility that we can get these things. So look, I've got me pinks. You can see I've just been lifting them up. I've got my darks, my mediums and my lights. So I'm going to start right from the beginning. Now, my mat is enormous. My mat is one I had to borrow off Abby. You may not have a mat this big, and I would understand if you didn't, but you've got, maybe you've got something like an ironing station or an ironing board, something that's padded that you can pin into. Even if you just make one up, if you know, a great big piece of cardboard and cover it with a piece of fleece would probably do actually, but it's got to you've got to make sure that the pins are really secure, because that's got to take a little bit of strain. So that's the only thing I would say about Aubretia, is that you do need something to dig your pins into, because like I say, when we're weaving it takes quite a bit of strain. So that's what we're going to do. Do you want a mat that big? I'm expecting mats next week. Is that Abby? I personally would, Abby. I think this is 18 by 24. 18 by 18 would suit me very well. I don't know about everybody else, but like I say, I've had to borrow this off Abby. Yep. So anyway, let's crack on. Yes, we do love Crafty UK. Well, they've provided us with some lovely templates, haven't they? Which is just super. And I keep saying I'm not going to do any more because it gets crazy with my days, but then things happen and I invent stuff and god damn. Right, so I'm going to put you on the overhead. Hopefully that'll work. And you can see my mat is really big, okay, and I'm going to have to be moving it around a little bit as I'm doing stuff. And what I've done already, and I'm probably going to have to stand up to do this, I'll be honest with you. Oh yes, 18 by 18 would be great. Nicola says she needs one the size of a double bed. Nicola is really enjoying her weaving, I have to say. So we're going to start off literally with a blank canvas. I'm going to have to bring it down on the screen. I don't really want to zoom out too far, and certainly when I start to actually do the weaving I'm going to bring it right in. But just to start us off, now I've got a wefty and I'm using this one. Now, as I was hoping to get a link for you for wefties, and I spoke to Lorraine at Oh So Sweet, and they can't get them anymore. They've stopped manufacturing the wefty. So there'll be some around, but they're few and far between. You'll be lucky if you get one. They're not going to be making them again. If you know anybody that deals in plastic, basically, you know, it would be nice to have one made. They are particularly shaped. So at the end, where my fingers are, this end here, it's slightly shaped. I don't know if you'll be able to pick it up, but it thins out a bit there, which actually helps with the weaving. So it's quite a good thing. If you haven't got a wefty, we don't need that one. Then use a long pin of some sort. I'm thinking kilt pin, which sounds a bit extreme, but that's the sort of size that I would suggest. Okay, so I'm going to leave it at that. The other thing is you need a boatload of pins. Now I've got double-headed pins. Okay, don't know if you can see that, but they're double-headed pins. They came with my Sasha tool, and these are absolutely perfect for this top row here, because they are it's like two pins going into the same. And to be honest, it does need that security, although I can't get them in that far, I'll be honest with you. So look, what I've done is I've cut all my strips, and I have excuse me, I have put them, use my binding tool, thank goodness I had a binding tool, and press them so they're looking gorgeous. You really want these to be wafer thin, as they say, wafer thin. You really want it to be super. The binding tool, obviously, you know the Simplicity bias binding machine, if you've got one of those, highly recommend. If you haven't, then just use some Best Press or some So Flat to get it so it looks like that. I mean, it's just gorgeous, isn't it? And I've in the pattern it says 7, so we're cutting 7 of the dark one, but we're going to cut them in half. Don't cut them in half until you've made your binding up, okay? And then you can cut them. So we'll end up with 14, which is what we need to go across the top of our piece of work. So I'll just do that now. So I thought I'd do everything with you, so you're absolutely sure of what you're doing. You know, these don't have to be, don't measure them, don't go crazy, just get the selvages, because you're doing this selvage to selvage. So get your selvages together, that'll do. If you're at half an inch out, it's not going to make a jot of difference. The piece we do is actually a lot bigger than we need, and there's a reason for that, because the sides, top and bottom, get really scruffy with the weaving. And you do get, I threw it away, and I know you're going to get cross at me, but I threw it away, but this was the main bulk bit that I cut off. Doesn't it look amazing? That's the main bulk bit that I cut off, and I was toying with the idea of making a pencil case out of it, and I thought, oh gosh, no, by the time I've stitched it we would have lost quite a lot, so I've had to put it in the bin. Don't shout at me. So if you could see my cupboards, I just can't keep everything, I really can't. So you're cutting the 7 your dark colour in half, so you end up with 14. Okay, so let's pop this all over here. Let's try and get you in a little bit better than that. And I'm going to dig into my pot as I go. So we'll start off in the centre and work out. So I'm just going to literally secure each of these. I'm not bothered about the bottom bit, not yet. So we're just going to, let's get a few of these out, otherwise it's going to take me a long time. You can use regular pins, don't think that, you know, if you haven't got these you can't make it. It's just that they're double-headed, so they tend to stay put. Don't worry too much about, I'm lining these up only because it looks nice. Don't worry about that either. As long as you've got a straightish line of strips, okay? And I'll try and pick up the questions. Oh, the white fabric on the cutting mat. Thank you, Sue. Of course, in the pattern it says, this is a large piece, 18 by 24, of G700 glue side up. Okay, glue side up. So this is the smooth side, and this is the glue side, okay? And it fits my mat. It fits my mat. So you want it about 18 by 24, okay? And that's what's going to eventually glue the back of your weaving together. And don't even start unless you've got that handy. You don't really want to use anything more stiff. If anything, you could go lighter. You could use a dressmaking weight. I'm not up to date with all of those, with Vaseline and all of that, but you could use a dressmaking weight of iron-on stabiliser. Okay. Yeah, so sorry about that, I should have said. I just assumed you'd know. And that's my fault, I do apologise. So something that you can squidge some pins into. You need your G700 to pin your strips onto. And we're using the dark. Okay, and the second colour we use is the medium. The light is the last thing, and it's the light colour that totally transforms your work. It doesn't look anything until you put the light on. It's quite amazing, really. So apologies for my slowness, but we want these to be 100%. Yep, so hopefully you'll do the same. Abigail, put that in a Lizzy Lovely bag. Well, yes, I suppose I could. You're talking about the spare bit. All right, I've retrieved it out of the bin. I'll put it there. Oh, Oh, that's nearly got a regular pin. You can use regular pins if you like. Don't think you have to use double-headed pins. Goodness gracious. But it means that these pieces almost like have 2 pins in, if you see what I mean. So, right, let's pop that up the top. Gosh, it's getting warm in here now. I didn't want to put my aircon on because it's so noisy. Okay, so now we've got to get these lying flat and lovely and secure, and you want to pin the bottom, so I'll move it in a sec, but let's just get this sitting nicely. Okay, we're going to draw a line across these strips, so I want you to be very, very careful about your heat erasable pen, and I want you to I'm going to move this up, guys. I want you to test your fabric to see if it will take the heat erasable and not leave a ghost line, because I know with batiks, so I'm just going to pin these. I know with batiks it will leave a ghost line, so let's just get rid of these. So I'm going to use ordinary pins here. Now what I want you to notice as I come into shot is that I'm just pulling them slightly. So I'm putting a bit of tension on them, because the one thing about this weaving is it needs to be super duper accurate. There's no good thinking you can just you know, throw it together, you know, quick job, because it absolutely ain't. We have to be quite careful with the placement of everything, especially the first couple of pieces you put in. So I'm just tensioning it just slightly, and then what I want you to do is stand back and have a look to make sure that it's sitting, you know, parallel. That's sitting, they're all straight, they're not going off at an angle, and you've got the same line, you know what I mean? You don't want it sort of kinking off like that. You want to keep it dead straight. So there's a lot of prep work, but it's so worth it. You've seen the end result. Did you see Nicola's cushion? Just amazing. As soon as I thought about doing this a couple of months ago, I thought of Nicola, because I know she loves this sort of thing. Right, so we've got it completely set on our board now. I'm going to refer to the pattern just to make sure I'm going to be doing it the same as you guys. Okay. Right, so the next thing we need to do is to mark that that line that I talked about. Okay, doesn't matter where you do it. Doesn't matter where you do it. You see, and I'll be doing this the whole time. You'll get really fed up with me keep pushing them down and straightening them up. Right, so with your ruler, it doesn't matter which ruler, as long as you've got a 60-degree line, you're going to place, it's hard to see, isn't it? If I was clever, I'd have had a darker one, but there's a 60-degree line. Let's put it, oh, just there. There's a 60-degree line running across this ruler, and it's that line there, that 60-degree line, that you're going to put on the edge of your fabric. Okay, so you just need to make sure that that 60-degree line is travelling all the way up that fabric there. And I can bring it down just a wee bit. It's a bit high up, so we'll bring it down. I want to get it so you can see it. Okay, so you want, this is where, and this is why you need all your strips straight, as you can see on my mat that they are, but I want that line is absolutely dead on. So what we're going to do now is draw a line across your strips. Now try not to disturb them, because if I just went like that, they'd all ruckle up. So I'm doing one at a time, and hopefully I've got a pen, a chalk mark. It's not too bad. Let me reset that. See if I can go in a bit heavier. I don't know how much of this you'll see. I'm going to zoom in anyway, so hopefully you'll see. Oops. Try and keep it. Oh, I can smell toast. That'll be John. Okay, so, and just extend it. So, I mean, what you could do is find that 60-degree line, which I've got there in front of me, and you could follow one of the strips. So there's my line there, my 60-degree line. Okay, and I'm placing it on the line that I started to draw, and I can just follow that through. So you don't have to have a huge ruler, just one that you can shift and manoeuvre about. Okay, so let me just zoom in, see if you can see it. I think you can see it. Yeah, I think you're okay with that. Just making sure you can see it. Yeah, I'm just thinking about my picture in the corner, but I'll work around it. Okay, so how are we feeling about that? Do you think everybody can do that okay? Nicola says that pink is gorgeous. Yep. What's that? Oh, on Etsy from Mr. Domestic. Is that the wefty? Gosh, that's a lot of money, isn't it? Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, Mary. Sue says she's been wanting to do this for a long time, so glad you were demonstrating it. I'll put something interesting on the screen. There you go. Yeah, actually that's yeah, I think that's all it is with the questions wise. Yeah, like I say, the wefty. Oh, Rosina's got the small wefty. No, really, I wouldn't even try Rosina. You need it to be flat when you're weaving, so the small one won't be very good. I'm going to just zoom out a little bit, just a wee bit. Yeah. Now you've all seen the line. So this is the 60-degree line. I found the wefty on Amazon for $12, so it's going to come from America. So we're looking at 2 to 3 weeks. So. See, well, it's up to you, isn't it, really? Right, so we're going to move on to our medium colour. Now, you don't cut any of this. This is still selvage to selvage, okay? This is still selvage to selvage. I haven't cut it, and please don't cut it. There's a reason for that. It's just much easier and cost effective if you don't cut it. Once we weave it, you can then cut it, okay? So if you look, and with the wefty tool, if you can read wefty on the top, you're putting your fabric over the top of the first bar, and let me try and do this without faffing around, and you're threading it through that first bar, and you can see it's been made to take a 1-inch strip. And you want a bit of an end on it, you don't want to lose your weaving halfway. So we've got quite a long piece of binding, but that's okay. As we go on, our strips will end up being shorter and shorter. So now I'm going to follow what is in the pattern. Now you've got lovely pictures. You can see the white line there on the picture, and it's a great picture, and I really strongly suggest that you study the pictures as you're weaving, and I also suggest that you there's a mantra somewhere. Where is it? Here. This I want you to keep beside you all the time, okay? Because that is what we repeat, and it's I tell you how it goes. It goes 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. You'll see what I'm saying in a minute. It doesn't go 1 2 3 2 1 2 3. Just a minute. You literally follow that. So if you were doing knitting or crochet, and that was your pattern, that's what you're going to repeat. That's all it is. But I would definitely keep this beside you at all times. Perhaps Nicola can confirm what a godsend the instructions are in that respect. So I'm going to put them to the side there so I can see them. And this is the, oh, hold on. This is the first one I'm going to do, okay? So the first row is over 1, under 2, repeat. Now I know a lot of you are going to say, oh my gosh, I'm never going to remember that. Well, no, of course you're not going to remember it. I can't remember it. But you just look at the instructions and just, that's going to be your mantra. So the first row is over 1, under 2. Over 1, under 2. Bear with. That's why we need a nice long tail. So you can go over 1, under 2, over 1, under 2, over 1. And then obviously you're going to go, whatever's left is 1, okay? So let me just pull that through. Right. Okay, now this is the bit that's the most important bit of the whole shebang. So we're going to see what I mean about lining these strips up again. You don't want any gaps, okay, because if you have gaps now, you'll have gaps when you finish. What we need to do is to get the line of this strip against the line of that I have drawn. So you can see, hopefully, that that's not straight, that's not level. It is now. I've just moved it. But what I want to do is just bring the end down because I don't want to waste anything. So there we go. I might come out a little bit in a minute so you can see it, but I wanted you to see the process quite close up. So can you see the line? And the edge of my strip is following that line. So as long as you've got your line straight, you're good to go. Okay, so let's pop a pin in there, and we're going to be really brave, and we're going to chop this bit. Okay, can you see? I might come out a wee bit. See how I go. Now what we need is a heat erasable pen, which of course is not, oh yes it is. I'm going to come out a wee bit, just a wee bit. Bear with. Okay. I just need you to tell me if I need to alter the camera at all. Yeah, because I want this to be good for you. So now we've got it cut. Make sure you don't move it off that line. Pin it, and I want you to write on here 1. I know it's basic, but truly you might get lost if you don't write it. It's not complicated. It's super. But the thing is, you've got to help yourself by getting it right. Okay, pen at the ready. So now we're going to do row 2. So if we look at row 2, and it says here start with a 1.5 inch tail. This is not so important, quite right, but a tail of over 1/2 inch is required as a minimum. Yep, she's right. Right. The second row, don't forget, you could always photocopy that and have it pinned somewhere so you don't lose it. So second row is under 1, over 1, under 2, over 1. You think, oh, for goodness sake, just pretend that you're knitting. Okay, so I'm going to take the piece that I've just cut off, so that's the remainder of what I had, and I'm going to thread it through here. So you go from the wefty side where it says wefty, or use a big long pin, and you can see now why you do need a long pin, because I want you to get under these 2s, okay? And then when we come to put the light in, again you're going under 2s, so you need a long tool of some sort. So row number 2 is under 1, over 1, under 2, okay? And then you're going over 1, I'm going to have to bring my tail through, over 1, under 2, over 1, under 2, you'll hear this in your sleep tonight, over 1, under 2, and off. Let me bring it down. There we go. Just get your tail sorted. Make sure everything's still lining up. Look, see how you got a gap there? Bring it down, tidy it up. It just takes a minute, that's all, and it's so worth it, and you'll have such a wonderful result at the end of it. So while it's there, let's pin it. Camera view is great. Oh, good. So, and I'm not going to go too fast, there's no point. Okay, just keep making sure that these are all sitting nicely. Bring it down, remember your line, because it's the line of the 60 degree that gives you the tumbler effect. If you think about it logically, if you were doing patchwork, it would be a diamond and a 60 degree diamond. So there's my, I'm tempted to move me over to that other corner. Where's my control? Just a sec. Let me just see if I can split my screen. Oh yes. Hold on, bear with guys. Right, there we are. I can't make it big now. I wonder if I do that, it's gonna, bear with while I just, oh yes. Oh, I've just moved me so you got a better look. Oh, that didn't hurt me either, it's lovely. I had a little flight across, a bit like that spaceship earlier. Right, so we're going to mark this one too. I wasn't hurt in that transition. There's the ice cream man. Anybody want a Mr. Whippy? So now we're going to cut that one. Now don't forget. Oh, I didn't know that, Karen, that Taylor Seville do double pins. Well, there we are. I think I might get some. So we might need that little bit, so hold on to it, okay? And also you've got enough fabric to cut an extra couple of strips if you get stuck. Right, so we go on to our third row now. So let's just thread this through our wefty. Oh, that was quite painful going across there actually. I was a bit dishonest when I said it didn't hurt. I got a little bit of vertigo and I whizzed across like that. So just pull it through, make sure you got wefty on the top and you've got a nice long tail. We haven't cut it, you see I've got two selvages there. So third row, so I even show you what those two rows look like. Spookily they look like that. And what you'll find, see this little diamond here, you'll find that our diamond ends up, I think we have one here and then one there and so on and so forth. You get these diamonds going across and you'll see the pattern. So if you lose this diagonal diamond, you know you've done something wrong somewhere, so just have a little look back. So row 3 is under 2, over 1 and repeat until you reach the other side. So let's say it. So it's under 2, over 1, under 2, over 1. Sorry, I will keep saying that. Over to 2, over 1, under 2, over 1, under 2, over 1, under 2. Okay, and to be honest, you'll probably end up saying it to yourself as you're doing it. Ooh, what's that? Something weird going on outside. Now, can you see the diamonds? Let's just move these. So when we come to the, can you see? I'll come down the thing in a minute. So all of these. Now the other thing I used when I was doing this was my lovely sharp pokey tool, because what you don't want is any gaps here. So you need to push your fabric, and if you've made Junius, we worked on that quite a bit, pushing the weaving. And Junius is on half price this week if anybody needs a Junius. Okay, so if you have a look, we've got our third piece. So let's just move my pins so it's a bit better for me, and cut. Okay, oh, John will come up in a sec. As soon as he hears me say cut, he thinks, oh gosh, it's 3 hours. Okay, so I'm going to write 3 on here. Okay, so we've done 3 rows. It's like phew. So you can tell this is going to take a little while. So do stop me if you're bored. So the next row, and this is why I said to you about you're repeating the pattern 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. So the next row is 1. Okay, so it's over 1 under 2, over 1 under 2, over 1 under 2. There we go, over 1 under 2, over 1. Okay, and I want you to have a look at the diamonds. Can you see how they're travelling across the piece? So that's what you're looking for. That's your clue that you're getting there. So we're going to pin that end so it's secure. So there's a lot of pins, but if you didn't, you'll be in ever such trouble. See, when you've got a gap there, you don't want a gap, because you really want this to be at 60 degrees the whole time. And if you start wandering across your fabric, you won't have 60 degrees. Okay, so there's another little bit there. So as we come up, our pieces, we're going to do perhaps a couple more, then our pieces start to get shorter, because we're going to be going like this, if you see what I mean. So let's get the next piece. So let's write it. So 1. So now you can see why, if you are consistent, it's easy peasy lemon squeezy. It's if you didn't mark this, you wouldn't know what row you were on unless you kept checking. Okay, any questions? Not that I can see. Right, so 1, so we now need 2. So this is where I would have this next to me, because we've done it all, and I could look at it, 2 under 1 over 1 under 2. I can see it, but let's just make sure we know that that's what we're doing. Under 1 over 1 under 2, repeat. Okay, and you're thinking, repeat what? Repeat what? So it's under 1 over 1 under 2. Okay, and then you're going over 1 under 2. It's always over 1 under 2, except when you're starting, because you've got to get that weave, haven't you? So sometimes we start on a sort of where we would be doing an under 2, and we're only doing half of it. Doesn't make any sense, but you know. Now look, that's getting loose, so I'm just going to move my pins. Just tighten my tension up again on the bottom. All I'm doing is moving my pins. Do you see? I'm just pulling that tension in, because we're weaving. We're losing some of the tension. That's why the double pins are quite good, because that shouldn't happen as much. Right. So let's go back to where we were. So we're on row 2. So we'll just bring that in, get another pin. If you secure that end, you're in with a fighting chance, aren't you? And look at the diamonds. That's your clue that you're on the right track. Okay? So pin, and we're going to write 2. You might think this is a bit of overkill, but trust me, it helps. Okay, so again, adjust. I'm not just stroking my fabric, I'm adjusting, I'm moving, making sure there's no gaps, making sure it's all looking cool, and you can see my diamonds. Right, let's do the next one. Where's my wefty? So thread your wefty. So now we're on row 3. It's easy because I've gone 1 2 3, and row 3 is over 2 under 1. Over 2, what? Over 2 under 1. Over 2, over 2. Oh, under 2, fool. Oh, jeez. Not as bad as Monday. Crumbs. It's like, who is this bird? Right. So taking it all the way across, don't forget, look at your diamonds. If you're not seeing your diamonds, just have a little chill for a minute, have a slurp of your tea and think, oh, hold on a minute, I haven't got my diamonds, what have I done? And check. And check, check, check. Okay, so I'm happy with that. So this is number 3. So give it a chop. So the piece that we're making is actually quite a bit bigger than we need, but we need to make we need to make it, this is the width will always be fine, but we need it to be longer to allow us to cut across. And yes, we do have a little bit of waste, but it's not like, you know, it's fine, it's fine. I think it's quite acceptable. So okay, we're coming up to the top here. This is where our pieces will start to get a bit shorter. Where's me? I keep putting my wefty down and I can't find it. So any questions? Anybody got any questions? Oh, I wasn't nowhere near the comments. Hold on, let's, oh crikey. Never bored. Thank you, Cindy. An extra long safety pin, totally. Oh, there we are. Kath says Prim do them for under £4. Yeah, you can see the diamonds, good. Yeah, a bodkin, if you can get a bodkin long enough, because we need to get under these twos, and it's not so bad, I'll be honest with you, it's not so bad doing this. It's when you come to do the light colour. Okay, so we're on 3, so now we start 1 again, and 1 is over 1 under 2, 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 and we can't do under 2, as you can see. Is only one strip. Okay, keep that tension. You'll hear me in your sleep. Keep that tension. Oh, she's such a nag. She's such a nag. Okay, straighten them up. Cut. And mark it. Number 1. Totally a godsend to do that. You can see why I didn't do a video on this. Because it would have been a 4-hour video. Okay, so we've done 1, we need 2. And 2 is under 1 over 1, under 1 over 1, under 2. Over 1, under 2. I'm going to get a shorter tail. Over 1 under 2. Oh, there we are. Let's just re-thread that. Let's get a bit of effort there. And so under 2, over 1, under 2. So this is where it starts to get a little bit tricksy. So again, just slide that down. Oh, let's move my mouse before I cut you off. Pin it. Okay, so the next one we're going to come out over here somewhere. So I'm not stroking my fabric, guys, I'm moving my strips, making sure they're all very close together. Not tight, because you don't want any puckers, but you want it to be close together. So this is 2. Okay, so now we want 3. So we'll use these little bits, and don't get worried about using, like I say, you have got more if you need it. So we'll do across here. So we need a row 3, which is under 2 over 1, under 2 over 1, under 2 over 1, and over 1, under 2, over 1, under 2. And because we've come out near a pin, we can just take that pin off for a moment, move our fabric up, put it down. Don't pin the strip, because we want to pull that. Do you see? See the diamonds? Super, isn't it? So up the top here, I can use my double-headed pin to hold that end. And we'll just cut that. Okay, pin, 3. So you can see how important it is to mark. So we'll do perhaps 2 more. So we've done 3, so now we do 1, and 1 is over 1 under 2, over 1 under 2, over 1 under 2. Just look for the diamonds if you're not sure. And this one comes out up here. So move your strip, your pin, and this is where you've just got to try and keep everything as neat as you can. So to be honest, we'll probably cut all of this away, but just put it back to how it should be. Okay, use that pin to hold it and cut. I think I might be able to use one of these strips now. Not quite. Not quite. What about that one? Not quite. We'll use a bit more of this. Oh, this is only a little bit. Let's get that one. Okay. So that's row 1. Let's secure it. Let's write on it. Okay. So now it's 2, and 2 is under 1 over 1, under 1 over 1 under 2. Yeah, it's always over 1 under 2. Again, remove that. We'll come out over there. Just pull it back. Keep it neat. Pin it to hold. And snip. And don't be gung-ho. Mark it. You might think, I don't need to now, but just do it. Right, this is number 3. So over 2, under 2 over 1. Under 2 over 1, under 2. That comes out there, look. But I always say, look for your diamonds. So just keep thinking that. So I'm using a really short bit now, just to hold everything in place. I'll put 3 there, but we don't need to now. How are we getting on for time? Oh, crikey, it's nearly 8 o'clock. Wowzers. Okay. Wow, that went quick. Goodness gracious. Okay. Oh, that's what I was looking for. Okay. Right, so this is, we've done quite a lot, but I've still got as much as I can do with what I've got. 3 strips. So whatever I can do with those 3 strips, then that's what I'll do. And then we can start putting the light in. And the light, I'm not sure I can show you on what I've done. I'd have to do it up the top here so you can see it. So your homework is to get this completed. If you want to wait until next week where we do the light, by all means do that. Once the light is done, and do refer to the pattern, you'll need to press this on a not too hot heat, but just enough to catch this glue, this white glue underneath. And once you feel confident that you've got a fair bit of it glued, I will then want you to flip it over and iron from the back. So if we were to, so see if I can pick a piece that I can do with the light. It's a bit tricky when only half is done, but I'll give it a go. And with the light, it's finding the 2 diamonds that you need, and you'll see in a sec what I mean. So in the pattern, so that's what you want to achieve, okay? So it's a fairly big piece. Use up all your medium colour. And you should end up with a rectangle about like that. The next one is the the light, so I'm going to see if I can do a little bit of it. It's a bit daft when I haven't quite finished it, but you'll be able to see. And actually I do like to start sort of inside the work a bit rather than on the outside, and you'll understand why I've said that when you do it yourself. So do you see where it says under? So we need to find that diamond, and that is one of these diamonds here. Now the biggest mistake you can make when you do this is to miss a row. Rather than, you'll do one row and you'll think, oh my goodness, I don't know how I did that, and then you'll go to do another row and you miss it. So I'll just sort of give you a word of warning. So you're going underneath the light, which is this one here, and let me just make sure I'm doing this correctly. Under there, this is where I get myself confused. So under there, and you want to come out over here. Thank you, I just remembered. So I want you to have a look at this. I wonder, did I do a second picture? Let's have a quick look. Oh yeah, look, this one. So what I've got here is the same. So if you think my medium blue is my medium pink, so can you see where my wefty is and how it's coming out? That's exactly how you want to do it, okay? But it kind of, well, the first couple of rows, you kind of think, oh my goodness, I can't follow this. And it isn't, it's tricky, but I know you'll do it if you think about it. So let's just move this a little bit further over here. So we take, and obviously this isn't finished, you know that, but we'll take our first little piece. So we're going under that diamond here, and you want to go under these strips, but you want to come out, sorry about this, it is a little tricky. You want to come out here, yeah? So let's just pat it down. Now, can you see that tumbler? So in there, you're going under this bit here. You're kind of coming up, but you want to go under this one and come out here. So let's try and do that without, it's easier if you do it when you do it, I promise you. There we go. So you're going under that one and out there. And then just pull it. You can always tidy up these sides later. So already we've got a tumbler going, yeah? Now if I was to do the next row, this is where you might go wrong. Because you might miss a row. So what we're going to do is we're going to go under here. We want to come out over here, but you're kind of weaving underneath all of these. So you're going under this one, and you want to go under that one, and this is why everything needs to be secure. Okay? So as you do it, then we do that second tumbler, and actually if you take a photograph of this when you're halfway through, you'll find a photograph is much clearer than you looking at it. I know that sounds daft, but trust me. So now at the end here, all I'm going to do is just bring it out, and then when we get to the sides we just tidy them up, and I'll show you how we do that. So can you see how that's working? So we've got our second row, and then obviously your third row is here. So you're coming like that. Okay? Because obviously where my blue bit is the top of the tumbler. So you don't want to be missing any diamonds out. So every diamond has a light pink or whatever colour you're using, top and bottom. I don't know if that's easier for you to remember. I don't know. Everybody's going to have a different way of of thinking about this, but if you keep looking at this, that is absolutely where you want to be. So you're not going to miss a row, because you'll think, oh, that's already been used. You're not missing a row, otherwise you'll end up with a big gap, but you'll see it. And if you take a photograph, you'll see it even clearer. It's much clearer with me looking at that screen than me looking at it down here. I promised you. It's just the trickery. So homework, I'll leave mine exactly like this, okay? Homework is that you do the whole lot. Now that shouldn't take you a week, but I want you to take it slowly and I want you to be accurate with it. And then when we come together next Thursday, we'll do all of the top of the tumblers, yeah? And it's lovely that you can see that and see how that works. I'm really pleased that I thought about that we should do that at least. And by all means, do the whole lot. If you're confident with doing this, do the whole lot, okay? But I'll go one step at a time so everybody can keep up. Hopefully that makes sense. Oh, just a little bit. So, what do you think? Possible? Wonder if I can lift it up. Don't be ridiculous. It's going to look nice in pink, isn't it? I'm going to have it on my stall at Duxford. Tempt the customers in with it. I shall take these light pinks out until I've done the whole lot, I'll be honest with you. But phew, there we are, part 1. I hope you've enjoyed that. Let's have a look. See what the comments are, see what you've been saying. So clever, says Sue. That's brilliant. Well, you know, I can only thank Mr. Domestic, because obviously I've been, well, not obviously, but I've been following him for years, and I've always loved his weaving, and I wanted to do something with weaving, and so obviously I designed the cushion. The cushion is definitely not his pattern or anybody's pattern, come to that, but the technique, I have been inspired by Mr. Domestic. And by all means, go and find him on YouTube and watch him. Perhaps he makes more sense than me. I don't know. So there we are. So please ask questions. If you get stuck, look back. You can obviously fast forward. You can mute. Always handy. And just do your very best. My best piece of advice is keep moving your strips so they're straight. Follow that 60-degree line. That first few rows is crucial that it's correct. And just enjoy it. You'll be amazed. As soon as you put that light colour in, it's like, whoa, where did that come from? That's amazing. Yeah. So I don't know who said that about the 1-inch strips. Let me have a quick look. June says she has a lot of 1-inch strips. Now listen, why not make a raggedy type one where they literally are 1-inch cut strips and you've got raw edges? Why not? It doesn't have to be 1 inch, as long as they're all the same size. I've just chosen 1 inch because it's a great size for a little cushion. But you can have them use 2.5-inch strips. I mean, it would be an enormous piece of work, but you know, think about the possibilities. Even a 1/2-inch strip. You got it. You're getting it now, aren't you? So think about the fact that you can leave them raw edges. You can pink them, you know, with the pinking shears. The world's your lobster. Also look at 1-inch ribbon as well, 2-inch ribbon, 1.5-inch ribbon, whatever. As long as they're all the same size. And you want dark, medium and light. Dark goes down, then medium, the light brings it to life. Right, phew, there we are. So tomorrow I'm on my page and I am demonstrating the potato chip template. I'm going to be following Andy and Joe's pattern on that you get with the template. So it's slightly different to what you may have already seen if you've looked it up or anything. And I shall be going into my scraps. The idea of potato chip template, it was born out of scrap busting, okay? So I don't want you to have pre-cuts. I want you to go into your scraps and cut as many scraps as you can. Get your teeth in a minute. Right, I'm off. So hopefully I might see some of these made. I didn't expect so many Julias, and yet look at what we got. So it's a good thing to do as a team. Right, thank you so much everybody. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow night. I'm on at 8, not 7, okay? Because Abigail is, I think it's her last course tomorrow night of the workshop for her 8 weeks workshop. So I think it's the last one tomorrow night. I don't want to interfere with that. So I'll be seeing you at 8 o'clock tomorrow. If not, I'm in Platinum on Monday. In fact, I'm probably going to be in Platinum on Sunday because I've got another hexagon to do where I anticipate the day rather than live the day as I've asked you to do. And then I'm on Monday in Platinum. We're finishing Electra there. Right. Night night everybody. Hope you have a good rest of your evening. Bye.